John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, everybody? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome to the Better Baseball MLB DFS Playbook Podcast. It is the last one of the MLB regular season here, James. We have just 13 games here on the final Friday slate of the year for us. It's been a great time doing the MLB DFS Playbook Podcast for everybody. We will have the 5 p.m. live stream to close out the live sessions here for the MLB DFS season. James and I will be off for a couple of weeks, and then we come back with the NBA DFS Playbook live stream and podcast series. So if you like the NBA, you can hang with us. James and I will be doing that content. But for now, closing out the MLB season here, 13 games on a Friday.
13 games on a Friday, including Coors Field with our beloved John. You know what? This is so poetic for us. The Minnesota Twins are in Coors Field on our last day with the podcast and live stream against Ty Block. If you don't think
we're stacking all Minnesota,
we are stacking Twins on our final podcast and live stream of the year. You haven't watched the show all year. But it has been an honor and a privilege to serve the battlefield with you for like a 10th consecutive year. And as we've talked about, like just going to go right into the basketball season after a couple weeks. But this was a long
baseball's a long
season.
Baseball's a long season.
But
it is.
But it was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. So before we do get into the final DraftKings breakdown here of the podcast season, shout out to rdsports.com, our sponsor all season long. Go to rdsports.com/alarm, promo code alarm23. New users will get that 100% deposit match up to $200 with their first deposit. Go to rtsports.com/alarm. DraftKings main slate, 13 games on the board. We got some weather potential coming up the East Coast here. So the Mets, dealing with some potential rain here. Boston, Baltimore dealing with some rain on this 13-game slate. So we'll see how those two games are impacted. When it comes to pitching on this slate, though, kind of interesting, right? We have some teams that have kind of set their rotations. We're unsure on pitch limitations. We have no pitchers over $10,000 on this slate, even though it's 13 games. It feels like there's 45 pitchers on the player pool. So figuring out where to go and how we're going to go about it could be a little bit of a challenge here.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe the first thing we should look at is who's making a case for a playoff push. So right off the bat, we just want to jump into things, Zach Gallen, Nathan Eovaldi, both those guys are pitching for their postseason lives because Arizona, although Arizona feels pretty safe for them that they're going to get in, there's obviously the off chance that they lose out and don't. The Cubs are not doing that, losing. They just got swept by the Braves. So right now, let's see, going into it, Arizona is up 1.5 games on Miami. So they're up 2 on the Cubs and they're up 3 on Cincinnati. So Gallen can pretty much seal the deal here and clinch for Arizona. So he'll be a full go. I like that spot against Houston. I don't like the spot against Houston, but I like that they need him, and he has been very good for most of the year. So I'd get to Gallen. Same thing can be said for Eovaldi. I know he hasn't been great since returning, coming off a tough start against Seattle, but he gets to make amends here. And in a postseason push, might be a fade just given where Eovaldi has been, but they need him to return to the Cy Young form he was prior to the injury. But it is a tough pitching slate to figure out where, because I think both you and I understand Gallen and Eovaldi aren't in the easiest spots. Like, where would you definitively go?
Lance Lynn.
Lance Lynn?
Think so. I know you were asking me about Gallen and Eovaldi, but I'm looking. I don't think so. I don't think I would go to either of those.
I don't think so either.
Lance Lynn against San Francisco might be where I would go.
My question to you is Lance Lynn being used in the postseason? Probably, right? Like, he is probably, as a starter, is he their third starter?
I mean,
Because,
maybe,
like,
but do you
we've
think they
seen
are you thinking they'll limit him here? I guess I don't.
yeah, because yeah, we've seen that a couple times,
Sure,
this week with the Twins doing it, the Brewers did it, um, who else did it? I forget who else, but, like, they're setting up their rotations for the
sure.
postseason. So I'm not saying I'm not in on Lynn because it's been a very, very, very long pass to Jaden Reed.
We need
Um,
people here needed that.
people here
They're not.
definitely needed
Yeah,
that.
people in this chat needed the Jaden Reed reception there. So
Sorry, I didn't mean that was
I
just
mean, no,
I
listen,
couldn't say.
we're multitasking here. We're multitasking. That's what we're about. I don't know. I don't know. So someone in this chat here needs 8 yards from Aaron Jones for like $1,700. Could be this guy.
Yeah,
You know,
could be this
could
guy.
be this guy.
Could
So we'll
be.
see
Could
if
be.
Aaron Jones can finish with
Hey,
26
you're wearing
rushing
Packer
yards.
green.
So it's true.
And you wore Packer green for Aaron Jones.
True.
Like, show some respect, Aaron Jones. Like, come on, John did this for you. Yeah. So Lance Lynn, great spot against San Francisco, good ballpark. So I like that. Winans, would you go Winans here?
I picked up Winans in seasonal fantasy roto, so like I think so. He's got a couple of good starts here. Under his belt. So I think you could go Winans here.
I think so as well. 8,700 is not the best price, but Washington's obviously fallen off a cliff. Taijuan Walker is interesting, John, because he hasn't been great, but the Mets offense only hits lefties. And Taijuan Walker wins a lot of games. He has 15 wins this year, 5 losses. So maybe Taijuan Walker, $8,100. Brian Wu is always a tournament play, but Texas is a little scary. Okay, here's one. Baltimore officially wins the division.
Yeah.
Right? They've officially won the division. Yeah. Nick Pivetta, $7,600. I assume Baltimore rests maybe everybody.
Sure.
Keep an eye out on the Baltimore lineup because if it's, without Gunnar, without Adley, without Santander, I am 100% interested in Pivetta at $7,600.
I picked up Pivetta for the Royal League as well for that same reason. To just thinking the recent performances, strikeouts have been there. I'm with you. I think Pivetta is a strong play, and look at the price. $7,600 is a bargain for 13 games here.
Yes, and he's coming off, back. He's probably pitching his way into. You think he makes the Red Sox rotation next year? Is he on the team next year?
I don't know. I don't know how many years ago. Let's see. Pivetta spot track.
Because he has pitched his way back into a big league rotation. He's going to be in a rotation next year.
Yes, I would agree with you. Let's see. Current active salaries. Pivetta. Where is he? Pivetta's on 1 year. So believe it or not, Pivetta is still arbitration years.
What?
Yeah. He has.
I cannot believe that.
He's not an unrestricted free agent until 2025. He's got 1 year of arbitration left at 31 years old. I don't know.
And I would probably play Pivetta at 7,600.
Yeah,
as maybe my favorite play if and when we get Baltimore starters ruled out because that's coming.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with you. I think that's fair. I mean, I guess unless we get actual. I'm trying to think here. So would you pitch Ryu then? Because Toronto's.
I would. Yeah, maybe. I'm just thinking of things that matter, and I'm not saying everything has to matter.
Sure.
Carlos Rodon at 7,100
against Kansas City.
Probably matters. You know why? Because Carlos Rodon needs to pitch well, like going into the offseason, because he hasn't. So I think that's a spot I would go. Chase Silseth had been great before the concussion. He's coming off the IL. If he's not limited, I would use Chase Silseth against Oakland. Like if we find out he's not limited, that's probably it. Maybe Williamson. We've talked about the St. Louis struggles against lefties lately, and Wade Miley mowed him down again the other day. 1 run. Maybe Williamson against St. Louis. We'll see, but so I think there's some actually decent value. I actually like the 7K tier more. I like the 7K or low, like 8K tier or lower more than I like the tier above.
Sure. All right, let's move on over to the infield positions here again. Figuring out who is and isn't going to be in the lineup could be a little bit of a struggle for the teams that have clinched. But if we're looking to target some guys here, where do you find yourself looking to go for some top price infield options on this 13-game slate?
Corey Seager, first and foremost. Brian Woo's been really bad against left-handed pitching specifically.
Let's see what the recent numbers have been, because they were very
atrocious
against lefties. I'm going to pull up this plugging now here. Versus left-handed hitters, 562, 402 WOBA, 562 slug, 9 homers allowed on the year, a 707 ERA against lefties. It's a 671 FIP, so it doesn't really get much better there. So, yes, good call.
Bryce Harper, if he's in the lineup, he has been obviously a monster in the second half of this year. He's 5,900 against Tyler McGill. Ellie De La Cruz has started to turn it up. He had a monster. He's done this a bunch of times where he just has like mammoth games. He has 3 multi-stolen base games over his last 10. He has 8 stolen bases in his last 10 games, including a double dong mixed in there too. Ellie De La Cruz, 5,800. I feel like I haven't said that name in quite some time. In such a long time. If the Braves starters, like if the Braves just keep playing their guys for no reason, Albie is 56, Riley 54. That actually feels kind of cheap compared to what it's been.
Albie has 35 stolen bases in 95 games. Sorry to cut you off, but that number
he has 8. Well, he has 8 in his last 10. Like, what is like the guy has been a freak of nature. And I'm just gonna go look at Minnesota prices for the infield. Polanco 53.
There's Rogers. Or not Rogers, Jeffers, right? That's a catcher. Jeffers
42.
Pricey, but
a little pricey, but it's Coors. But it's the bump.
Yeah.
You know, Castro 4,000. Kirilloff probably not in the lineup against.
Kind of sucks that it's a lefty, not a righty, because we like Kepler, we like Wallner, we like Kirilloff, like
brutal.
But we might future weekend plays. We'll get some righties in the mind here for.
And honestly, on the other side of the game, John, I would play some Rockies.
Yes, I mean you like the Rockies on Thursday, and they came through in a big way for you. So
I'd go back to the well on all of them.
Sure. Let's see, mid-tier and value plays. Edmonds against Williamson gets a righty-lefty spot for him there at short. I mean, if we're not in on Seattle, like Josh Rojas could be a play.
Yep.
He's been, obviously been struggles there. We like Pivetta. We've been playing a lot of O'Hearn. I don't know if that would continue.
Both those things can be. Yeah, both those things can be true though. Like we can, Pivetta's been hittable at times.
Sure. Where else are we looking to
Drury?
Go? Okay.
Drury against Waldisuck, 4,300.
I feel that way probably about a lot of the Angels here, because they do have some guys that hit lefties pretty well. Nato, Grichuk led off the other day.
Yep.
So could get that.
I would play Gleyber Torres.
Okay.
I would play Gleyber Torres against Jordan Lyles.
I mean,
Gleyber's having a very solid year.
We're going
to get to the outfield, obviously.
Consider Jordan Lyles against the Yankees, right-handed pitching against the Yankees.
Like, I know where you're going with this. I do. But like, I would say the one thing you worry about is the home run. Sure. And with Aaron Judge, like, I mean, dude, he's the cover of the show. I already made him the cover of the show.
I agree. All right, let's
Free
move on to
agent
outfield then, and let's talk about Aaron Judge here. $6,300 against
yeah,
Lyles.
yeah.
Good chance for a home
He's
run.
my home run call. He's my home run call. Yeah, he's my home run call. I'm just gonna say it. I'll just get it out of the way now. Like it's gonna be my home run call at 5 p.m. tomorrow too. He's my that's not changing.
Yeah. Mookie gets Win. Carroll gets France. Schwarber gets McGill. Some power obviously there. You can take a look at and target. Soto on Cease if you want to go there. JD versus Win. So some good options up over 5K.
Yeah, there are a ton of options over 5K. I think Soto is probably one of my favorite against Dylan Cease with how bad Cease has been and how good Soto has been. 16 RB. He has 26 runs and RBIs combined over his last 10 games.
Is that good?
So, sign me up for some Juan Soto in current.
Another guy that over the last month has turned his entire seasonal perspective around in terms of production here. So going to be 135, 100 plus guy. I mean, crazy. Mid-tier range down here. Nolan Jones keeps rocking it. Certainly continue to go down to the well for him here. Depending on your opinion of Ty Walker, you got a couple Mets bats like Nimmo could be in play here as well.
He left just for
okay.
He left Wednesday's game or what's today? Thursday's game.
Yeah. Okay. Atlanta bats Ozuna, Harris in play as well in the mid-tier.
Yep. I like both of them. Jake Fraley, 4,400. Friedel has been the better of the two. Wherever he's priced, you could play either of those two Reds as well.
Okay. Value plays. Anybody below 4K for you? So we'll shout out to say
value.
Keep going down.
Yeah, say for sure Grishik, 3,500. He's been okay in an Angels uniform.
Oh, Evan Carter is 39. Against Woo.
That's a great call. Evan Carter's a great
Probably
call.
I'm just going Carter in that.
Yeah, I'm down with that sub 4K. Will Benson, 3,400. He's kind of slowed down since we liked him a lot, but
yeah.
I'm down with some
Hayward at 34.
Yes, Hayward 34.
Wait. Garrett Mitchell came back. I thought he was done for the year.
Yeah. Dude, he started and hit ninth. What a little jolt right before the postseason, huh?
Yeah, can't help my FSGA team anymore, but
no, that can't. A little too late, but
any other guys?
I'm looking at Varsho. If you want to go back to homered. We gave Varsho a lot of love on the Thursday show, and he homered on Thursday. So not totally against the Varsho play,
Sure. All right, let's get a lineup out here for the folks at home, shall we?
Yeah.
All righty. We were in on Pivetta. What's our other starting pitcher that we're locking in here? What did we want to do?
Would you play Rodon at 71?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I mean, dude, we didn't like anything else. So
yeah, well, that's how I felt. And we want to play Seager. We have Carter in here. Catcher position.
I would like to get the Judge. I don't know if we can, but
okay, probably can get the Judge. 3,700. We got a value catcher down here somewhere.
Yeah, that feels good.
What do we want to do? Betancourt versus Ruse, 32.
They probably start Christian Vasquez. Honestly, that's probably what Minnesota's going to do. They're going to be weird, and they're going to start Christian Vasquez.
Wells against
Austin
Lyles?
Wells.
Yeah, Wells versus Lyles. Easy play. How much stacking do we want for lefties? Nathaniel Lowe's 45.
We can play all the lefties if you want.
Right. Let's just go against me. Woo's been really struggling here. Do you want to go Brandon Rogers at second? Rojas against Evaldi at 32 is down here.
Yep. Probably one of those two. I like, I've been playing a lot of Brendan Rodgers, so if that's the direction we want to go,
what's our cheap outfielder here? We got a guy that can get us into like a 4K, or is there a cheaper third baseman that we're looking at?
Cheap outfield. There's definitely a cheap outfield here somewhere.
What's a runner? Runner's a lefty. Let's see. Is
I was looking at Stone Cold Min, but I didn't find anything. Cheap outfielders. Ref Snyder gets means, but he's been good.
We can do
Luplow probably starts 2,800.
that works. So I was just looking at third base here. 36. Paredes versus Rue, lefty, right? Power. McMahon versus Ryan. Yeah. What do you think? Plug some Paredes for power.
Yeah.
Could do Willie Castro. We'll leave some money on the table if we do Castro, but gets another twin in there.
And we could probably move up from Luplow if you wanted. Too. I mean, you could keep Luplow or move from him.
No, I want to keep him in cores, and Castro gives us
another. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's see. Is there a 44 second baseman? Gleiber. You like Gleiber? You can do that. Gleiber.
Yeah, I did.
There you go. So we got Pivetta, Rodon, Wells, Lowe, Torres, Castro, Seager, Carter, Judge, and Luplow. So we got a little 2-man Twins. We got a 3-man Yankees and a 4-man Rangers. We'll stack
4-man Rangers. Yep.
Not bad. Not bad. All right, guys. Again, final podcast of the day. We'll be live 5 o'clock Houston, breaking down the entire slate of games here. Are you on the playbook, James?
Yes.
James on the playbook. He'll have that for all of you guys there. Good luck, and we will catch you guys all later.